Hey guys, welcome to Pellets and Pits. Today is all about a smoked prime rib, and we put some Dove poppers on the grill as well. We broke out the Weber kettle. You guys want to see how we make it? Here we go. This brings me back to my days. This is where it all started. All right, got some lump charcoal from Rockwood. I don't want too much in the chimney. More than that. It's kind of like my version of a modified snake method. Fire starter right on the bottom. I don't have a lot of charcoal in here. You see that? Because I don't want to start all the charcoal. So we're just going to let that burn. Get it going, and then we'll start a fire from one side and let it snake around. To get started, we're going to do things a little different today. Today's a little bit more laid back. We just did a laid back video on the Flat Top King, and I enjoyed it very, very much. This is the deal. The last couple of weeks, the sickness has run through all branches of family. And I've been ranting and raving over how good that prime rib was that we made for not too long ago. Well, yesterday we actually did a whole smoked tenderloin. And we had a different part of the family come over, and same thing. Just that crust is just what everybody talks about. So Dad's coming over today, and today we're breaking it back all the way down when I first started. My first love, my first true love, even before you. The Weber. We're bringing out the Weber. So if you don't know this, if you're just new to the channel, even on the Flat Top King, when we first started, Weber is how I grew up. It's how my dad grew up. I'm a charcoal fan through and through. I actually prefer it over any other method. And so this is what we're doing. Dad's coming over, so we're going to make something what he wants. For my Christmas present from my dad, he actually got me this roast and said, "Merry Christmas to you. I want you to cook it for me." It's funny how that happens. So we got our charcoal going. Let's go season that roast. So this is kind of like nostalgic for me because it just brings it back to where we started charcoal cooking. Got a 3-bone roast. I have dry brined it actually for the first time for 2 days. I've never done it 2 days. I've always done it overnight. It's been in the refrigerator for 2 whole days. And this is what we got. So for that
now when you say dry brine, what did you do?
Just added salt and just let it sit overnight on the cooling rack in the refrigerator. I did go light on the salt. I didn't go heavy on the salt. Once again, my butter is too cold. Golly. It's too cold out here. Hang on.
It's 36 degrees.
You think that I over microwaved it, but honestly, as cold as it is outside, it'll probably seize back up before you know it. To that mix, we're going to add a little mayonnaise. I'm just trying to eyeball how much I need for that roast. That's probably actually pretty good. A couple dashes of Worcestershire sauce. Looking like 2 tablespoons, maybe 1 tablespoon of mustard. Little Dijon action. And the star of the show, the horseradish. This is not prepared horseradish. This is a cream horseradish. But the other one's prepared, so I'm going to go a little bit heavy on this one. That's where all the fuss is about. Notice we're not putting any rosemary. I mentioned before we don't like rosemary as much as other people. Dad don't like it either, so I'm not going to put it in there. 1.5. 1.5. Ugh, come on, give me one more. Oh, yeah. Something like that. This is where the magic happens. Heck, maybe I need to start melting the butter all the time anyways. That's way better. Now that's how you dang do it. Look at that. Mm-hmm. We might have learned something different. To season a roast, very, very, very simple. Been on that Texas rub lately. Even somebody complimented it yesterday. Not really worried about the bone side too much. Let's hit this side right here.
Recipe for the Texas rub is on our website.
Yep, pelletsandpits.com. I'm keeping the bones intact. We're going to season it pretty heavenly. Heavenly or heaven? It will taste heavenly, but we're seasoning it
heavily.
Heavily, thank you. Extra letters in there I didn't need. It's actually dry enough where I could have used a binder. When all else fails, you turn to plan B. I'm just going to use a little bit of moisture for a binder. Just go and use that Worcestershire sauce to help that seasoning stick. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah, I like that a lot better. You can just tell the way it sticks. Come back in with shake that, salt, pepper, garlic, and butter. I know what you're thinking. Why use 2 of them? It's simple. Mine is not salt heavy, nor is it pepper heavy. I feel like those 2 items are like the cheapest things in the grocery store. So when I make another seasoning, like my Texas rub, it's really black pepper heavy, and it's got a little bit more depth of salt. So I think the 2 combined works out perfect. What do you say?
Yep. It was a good combination.
It is. All right, season it up. Boy, it did harden up. Man, that might be a great idea. I might do that. We might have to try that out.
Well, during the wintertime, yeah.
Well, yeah, but if you just, instead of soften, just have it melted and just let it come back up. And then we're just going to paint the roast. I'm going to tell you what, when it's all said and done,
I'm learning.
and I retire from this profession, we're going to learn you a thing or two. Actually, somebody else said that the other day. Didn't somebody compliment you? Said, wow, I can't believe that you didn't burn something, or it was something like, it was like, yeah, me either. Well, what? Somebody complimented you, said, you are picking stuff up.
I'm learning.
All right, just get that spread around just as good as possible. You should have plenty, and that looks like a fantastic coating. Let that sit out for a minute while we work with our charcoal. Let me get cleaned up. All right, so you see the white coals we're dealing with? I'm gonna set them right on top of over here.
That is what you call red hot.
I have some wood that I just started hatcheting from my wood pile over there. It's a mix of oak and hickory. Way too much charcoal today, but it won't be a problem. If we don't burn it, we'll just reuse it, just like the reused charcoal in there. So this is the idea. We're going to, let's go and add a couple splits. Who would ever think you could add splits to charcoal? Grate goes on. We got our 2-zone cooking system. We're going to be able to put the roast here while our snake method starts wrapping around. We're going to open all the vents and allow it to come up. I'm going to look at like 200 degrees, and then I'll start shutting down the vents. Everything right now is wide open, and then we'll adjust it from there. All right, looks like we're pegged nicely about 225. So anywhere at about that temperature I'm good with. Got my third and pro wireless thermometer out. We're gonna be able to insert that into the meat. So I don't know if it's gonna matter. We'll do it like that, and then about halfway over we'll flip it. Just guessing, right there's the middle. So we'll go this way. Right there. Okay. Several hours. I'm gonna bring it up to temp, probably about to 110, and then we're gonna open all the vents. Let this charcoal grill get really hot. Be able to rotate that prime rib over the coals back and forth, be able to sear it off and finish it about. Probably a little bit more today, maybe about 125, somewhere through there, and let it carry over. Alrighty, hang around 275. It's been battling back and forth. We're at an internal temperature of 110. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm going to pull it, open my air vents, get those hot coals moved around. Now we're gonna start building a hot coal bed. And I got a surprise for you. Dad came with some goodies today. We went dove hunting last dove season. Of course, I'd help him out with his limit, you know, like good sons always do. All right, let's keep that open for a minute. All that oxygen will allow this to heat up a little bit faster. I got Dove poppers with jalapeno cream cheese, Dove, bacon, and I put my Q that on there. So we're gonna set those right on top and get those cooking. That's gonna be a little appetizer. So I'm gonna be playing around with those, but really and truly the whole idea is just to build a hotter grill at this point. I am gonna take this inside. It's dropped, it's 34 degrees, so I don't want that to cool down too much. So I'm gonna take this inside, and then when we're ready to film again, then I'll show you what we're doing. As you can see, our fire is nice and hot. We got all those coals lit. Poppers are looking good. I'm gonna come back over here with some Mike's Hot Honey. Nice little candied glaze. Remember I mentioned that we pulled this at 110 degrees, so it's already risen 6 degrees, so just keep that in mind when you're cooking. So for us, we like it medium rare, so we're going to shoot for about 123, 125, somewhere through there. And the first place I'm going to set it is actually on the bone side, just to start that heat to penetrate through it, just for a second. Dad's making his inaugural debut on Pellets and Pits. He's world famous on the Flat Top King. Without me, there wouldn't be a Flat Top King. That's true.
Could have been something else.
Oh, yeah. That's a fantastic sight. That's what you wanted. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. I made sleep trying them doves.
Thank God I shot them.
Yeah,
If it
yeah,
wasn't for
buddy.
me-
Yeah, buddy.
If it wasn't for me, we'd be having pigeon.
Well, the same thing. Just one's bigger than others. Just like I'll take you fishing. You catch minnows and I'll catch big fish.
All right, let's start rotating.
Was that bone cut out there?
I didn't open the strings, so it's either going to be partially cut or all the way cut. But I
You
didn't.
told me if it had strings on them, they'd cut them.
Oh yeah. You can tell it's been cut,
Sometimes
but sometimes they
like
don't cut it all.
80%.
Yeah,
All the
And it's
way.
still
Yeah.
attached.
yeah.
What's that? We'll be slaughtered.
Just want to show you guys the thermometer. We're shooting about 124 on the inside. We've let it rest. I'm like, Dad, this is really my all-time favorite. I mean, this is really how I like to do it. On the Flat Top King, we took this right here. That's exactly what we took. And then I cut it in pieces and we put that in our birria. Absolutely. Thank you, honey.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was. Probably just what, right in half, and then cut each one in half.
Sure. You're the boss.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm a happy son of a gun. Very, 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 I mean very faint little grayish band around the edge. It's mostly edge to edge interior, perfectly cooked. Oh my gosh. How are we gonna taste it? Want to taste the tail? That's the favorite part right there. I'm gonna keep this closed
And
up so we can take it
we
inside.
made our horseradish cream sauce. That recipe's on the website too, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
fantastic. Uses a little dipping sauce.
There you go, honey. First bite. Cheers to the new year.
Uh-huh.
Is it better than filet yesterday?
They're both amazing.
Putting the more horseradish on there is worth it. I'd highly recommend it. You honestly don't taste as much as you think you would. It just creates a whole nother depth of flavor that's extremely hard to get unless you're doing it this way.
It is. It's amazing.
Yep. Thanks for hanging out with me and Dad. Really appreciate it. I know it's kind of redundant, but this was just on a different method, on a different grill. Really brings me back to my happy days. I love my charcoal grill. And this is how it started, and this is my pure passion. And obviously it's my dad's because that's how he wanted it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Peace.
Going to eat. It's dang good.